Through the pages of the Bible, God revealed a diet plan over 3,000 years ago. This divine dietary blueprint is found in Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14. These weren't merely food regulations. They were a comprehensive way of life, a sacred code of conduct. You might wonder why a good God would care what we eat, but the purpose was deeply spiritual. For land animals to be considered clean, they had to meet two specific divine criteria. First, they must chew their cud, and second, they must have completely split hoofs. This included clean animals like cattle, sheep, and goats. But pigs and rabbits were deemed unclean despite having split hooves because they do not chew cud. Horses and camels were also prohibited because they do not possess split hooves. When it came to sea creatures, the biblical standard required both fins and scales. This classification meant most common fish were permissible. However, shellfish like shrimp, lobster, and crabs were strictly forbidden. Other sea creatures without both fins and scales were also prohibited. The Bible specifically prohibits birds of prey and scavengers. These included vultures, eagles, and other carnivorous birds. The distinction between clean and unclean birds centered on their feeding habits. One of the most profound dietary restrictions concerns the consumption of blood. Genesis 9 verse 4 and Leviticus 7 verse 26 state clearly, "The life of the flesh is in the blood." This was not merely a dietary rule, but a recognition of life's sacredness. By abstaining from blood, God's people acknowledge that life belongs to God alone. The Bible also prohibits consuming meat and dairy together. The verse, "Thou shalt not boil a kid in its mother's milk," seems obscure but carries deep significance. This commandment specifically rejected an ancient pagan Canaanite practice. By establishing this separation, God distinguished his people from surrounding nations. Many Christians question whether these dietary laws remain binding today. While Jesus fulfilled the ceremonial law, these dietary codes continue to hold significance. For Jewish people worldwide, kosher practices maintain these ancient traditions. It's crucial to address controversial texts like the secret teachings of Moses. To maintain biblical integrity, we must stick to canonical Hebrew scriptures and the Holy Bible. Ultimately, the divine diet was not primarily about physical health, but spiritual holiness. These regulations serve to set God's people apart as a holy nation. As Leviticus 11 verse 44 declares, "Be ye holy, for I am holy." Every dietary restriction pointed toward a greater spiritual reality, our covenant relationship with God. This completes our exploration of the 7 sacred food classifications in biblical law.